Are you wondering about what's happening in the Southwest Florida real estate market? Then you need to take a watch on this video because we're going to give you the scoop on exactly what's happening, whether you're a buyer or a seller. So it's been a while since we've done a market update, so just wanted to put this out there so you can see exactly what's happening here in Southwest Florida. It is not the same as what's happening across the country. And listen, there is so much data that I could give you. I could just show you all types of different data points, but we're just gonna narrow it down today and give you the down and dirty, whether you're a seller or a buyer, what you need to know. And if you're looking for additional information or if you have questions on this, then definitely reach out and give me a call. That's 239-776-6872, and we can have a deeper conversation. Let's start with sellers. So if you are a seller or a possible seller in this market, here's what you need to know. If you look year over year at our new listings, we're actually about flat. But year over year inventory, we are up 34.7%. And again, we're looking at Bonita Springs and Estero market data. So we have an interesting thing that's happening right now, and we're gonna need to keep a close eye on these statistics the next couple months because we actually have an increase in inventory, but we also are seeing a little bit of an increase in the average sales price. And that's kind of an interesting little twist on that data. So we'll be keeping an eye to see how it goes over the next few months and see what happens here in fourth quarter. Now, when we take into account average sales price, when we're looking year over year, over the summertime, it actually has been a little flat. We did see a little bit of an increase again in August. So that's one of the reasons that we're saying we want to keep an eye on the inventory versus the average sales price and see where it goes. We think that we're not going to be seeing a decline in average sales prices, and we'll talk more about that as we get into this video. Two other stats that we do watch, and a little more important if you are a seller, is our days on market and our months of inventory. So we have seen our days on market go up quite a bit, actually 92%. Now that's a really big number. We're working in small numbers here. So yes, we are up 92% year over year. But let's keep it in perspective. We're currently sitting at about a 48-day average days on market. To give it perspective, back in 2017, 2018, that number was, in the 7 to 9 month range. So has it gone up a lot over the last couple of years? It has, but we're talking about times when things were on the market, sometimes less than a day or a couple days to now 48 days. So the sky is not falling, but you do need to know that it is taking longer on average to sell a home. Now, as we've been talking about, our inventory numbers have gone up. So we're currently sitting at we're currently sitting at 3.2 months supply. That is looking at single family and condos in the Bonita Springs Estero area. So it has seen a large increase as well, which makes sense because a couple years ago, we had very little inventory. We had weeks of inventory instead of months of inventory, and homes were only staying on the market days instead of, getting closer to a month and a half. So it all makes sense when we look at what's happened over the last couple of years, but here's what's important in that number. 3.2 months supply of inventory means we are still firmly in a seller's market. They say 6 to 9 months of inventory is a balanced market. We are still well below that number. So it is still a great time to be a seller here in Southwest Florida. Switching to buyers. So if you are looking to buy a property down here in Southwest Florida, here is what you need to know. So we're going to have a little overlap here between buyers and sellers because a lot of what both categories need to look at are the same. So with buyers, we also need to look at the average sales price. And here's what we want to talk about. So yes, across the summer, we had a couple months that were flat, but we did see a little bit of a bump in August. And we're going to need to continue to watch that. But here is the reality. We still have more demand than we have inventory to cover all of the people that are looking to buy property in Southwest Florida. In fact, the economists are saying that even if we have a few slow months of real estate coming up here over the next couple months, it is highly unlikely that pricing is going to decrease because the inventory levels are just not high enough to cover the demand. So that does not equal lower pricing, that equals pricing that is going to continue to rise. And in fact, Zillow has recently announced that they are now predicting 5% home appreciation over the next 12 months. Increasing that from what their original predictions were for the year. And what we know is that that's a national number. We typically see that number to be higher down here in Southwest Florida. So we are expecting more than that in appreciation for home prices over the next 12 months. So while a lot of markets have definitely seen a slowdown in real estate, we actually have seen, so typically our summer months are our slower months if you take out of account the last few years with everything from COVID, but traditionally summer is a little bit slower for us here. And last summer, we actually had an amazing summer. All of our sales were up, especially in July. And this year, we saw July year-over-year numbers. Our pending sales were actually up in July of 2023 over 2022. Now, August numbers were just recently released, and they were down a little bit August over August. But we are seeing the trend of holding strong here in Southwest Florida. So what does all that mean? If you are a seller, it is a great time to be a seller here in Southwest Florida. Our inventory numbers, while higher than they have been, are still low at 3.2 months. It is still a seller's market, and we're continuing to see our pricing that is increasing versus decreasing, which is a very big positive if you are a seller to maximize the amount of equity you have in your home. Price is the number one market tool. So we have got to price homes correctly in order for them to sell quickly. And while our market time has gone up a little bit, what we have seen is the homes that are priced well, that are in excellent condition, and many times have very few, if any, remodels that are necessary, those homes are still selling very quickly and in many cases with multiple offers. And if you are a buyer, it is still a good time to buy property in Southwest Florida. Yes, interest rates are high. Yes, it is still a seller's market, but here's the thing. Inventory levels are higher than they have been for years. You actually have choices, and we have not had many choices for buyers for properties over the last few years. And right now, while a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines, there's not as much competition for those homes. When season rolls around and our population increases by 30%, yes, our inventory goes up, but our number of buyers in our market goes up tremendously. So that means more competition for homes. Right now is a great time to get in. We're seeing sellers negotiate. We're seeing home builders negotiate. So if you're sitting on the fence, let's have a conversation about if this is the right time for you to move forward. The best time to start is now. If you are interested in having a property in Southwest Florida, you have got to just do it. Just jump in and let's get in the game. And to circle back real quickly to new construction, we are seeing some very favorable incentive opportunities with some of the inventories that the builders have here in Southwest Florida. If this interests you, if you want to learn more, then definitely give me a call at 239-776-6872 so we can talk about the pros and cons and what is your specific situation and if that might be an option for you. All right, there you have it. Whether you're a buyer, whether you're a seller, there are some definite pros to still getting into the market here in Southwest Florida. If you want to talk about this further or if you have any questions or comments, definitely you can text us or call us directly at 239-776-6872. We would love to hear from you and have a conversation about your specific situation and help you live joy in Southwest Florida every single day.
And now my love for you is so strong.